Jonathan here, Holistic Wellbeing. Hope you're well. Hope you're all bearing up with lockdown and all this kind of stuff that we're experiencing at the moment. It's a real strange time for everybody. I'm sure you've heard those words many times, along with the word unprecedented as well, and let's be honest, it is really. We are going through strange times in life. If we look at things in a sense of just the way of the world, it can be quite a scary place. It can be quite a depressing place. By the way, I may be joined with various cats. I've already got one, you might see. This is Pig, by the way, so I'll just introduce you to Pig. Say hello, Pig. Say hello to everybody. Go on, say hello. And we might be joined with Mr. Chops as well, but he might be out in the garden, so you might get an introduction to Mr. Chops too. I think Steph's watching. Hiya, Steph. Hope you're alright. Nice to see that you're tuning in. Yeah, we're kind of going through a real strange time, and I think we've got to really consider how we're going to get through it, number one. We can kind of mull over many theories of why these things are happening. I have been very vocal on Facebook, probably lost a few friends, but I have my opinions, everybody else has their opinions, and that's fine. No problem. We've all got to find a way of coping and dealing with these things. It may be that you are still at work, or it may be that you had to finish work. We shut our centre 9 days ago now. I don't know where that time's gone actually, it seems to have flown to me, but I'm not sure about everybody else. There's only probably so many games of Monopoly that you can play, but we're trying to keep ourselves busy as much as we can. I got Carrie. Hiya Carrie, nice to see that you're tuning in. Linda, nice to see that you're tuning in. So hi ladies, hope you're all doing well. We're kind of thinking about helping people out. Me and Anne started this journey over 25 years ago, and it's been an amazing journey, very interesting in many respects. Spiritual journey is not always the easiest one, as I'm sure that some of you have found out. We are sensitive beings as well, so that kind of amplifies some of the feelings that we are getting right now, particularly if you're empathic. If you're an empathic person, which means that you kind of take on board the feelings of others, it can be quite an intense time now, and we have to really learn to ground ourselves. Grounding is really important. I'm not going to talk about grounding too much today. I'm going to do that on a separate meditation. What I want to talk about today is the power of thought. It's this thing we all do. We think, therefore I am, as the old saying goes. And just checking who's coming in now. Ruth, hiya Ruth, nice to see that you're tuning in too, so hope you're doing fine. And yeah, we've got to kind of really use our thought, our patterns of thought, the way we think, what we think. It's important that we don't let our thoughts run away with us. I'll be honest with you, for the first probably 3 days, 4 days of lockdown, and I'll probably extend that to 5, every morning I would wake up and for a moment the world was fine, and then the realisation really just kind of came down like a ton of bricks. And I'm sure there's been so many people around the world that have felt the same thing. It's this feeling of helplessness, this feeling of not being able to do something, you know. Really, all the things that I suppose people's worst nightmares about the livelihoods, about the families, about how we're going to work in this new kind of system. And before long I was kind of getting out of bed and thinking, you know what, it's a pretty bad world out there. But just this kind of week a bit of a veil's lifted, and there's been a number of reasons for that for me personally. I've tried to remain spiritual throughout all this. It's not an easy task. recommendations for anybody right at this moment in time is, number one, turn off the news. Please turn off the news. It is so just unbelievably fear-based, and as human beings we respond in many ways to fear, and if we are experiencing fear, that generally creates massive anxieties, which can lead to stress as well. And I've got to say that I've really experienced all of that, you know, and to a lesser extent now I'm still getting that little bit of fear. I'll be honest and say I've experienced a little bit of anger about the situation, and you know, we're human at the end of the day. Every single one of us, we've got this roller coaster ride of emotions going on right at this moment in time. Oh, Anne Halstead's just joined me. Hello Anne, nice to hear from you. And and it's kind of you know, we're human. Come on, let's be honest. There's not one of us superhuman, you know, turns into Batman or Spider-Man or Superman and solves the world's problems. And some days I feel as though I want to solve the world's problems, and you know, I get typing and hope that I might just be able to sow a few seeds, helping people to understand what might be going on right now. And it's a task, or a task ahead of us. But you know what? This last kind of few days, I mentioned that a veil's been lifted a little bit from me, and I don't know whether anybody else is actually feeling that either. I get the impression that people are kind of coming out of that realisation, because we really have been in shock. You know, we're suffering shock, and we all know how kind of bad that can be, really, suffering shock. We become extremely super sensitive in those times as well, and I feel that, you know, all this information that's coming out, daily things that we hear that, you know, are really kind of bad news, and you know, it's like, well, all that fear, all that kind of low vibration stuff doesn't help our immune system. We've really got to up our game a little bit to keep ourselves well, you know, keep ourselves healthy. You know, okay, I like my food, and I've got proof to show you on that one, but you know, I'm pretty okay, and I'm thankful and grateful for that at this moment in time, because I know there's many people around the world that aren't. And we send out our healing thoughts to those people. And I've just used the word again, thoughts. Hiya Dave, are you alright? Hiya Faye, are you alright too? Yeah? Lovely to hear from everybody, so nice. Keeping in touch as well, isn't it? That's what's important, keeping in touch with people. And you know what? The internet, wow. What an amazing thing. What an amazing tool that is now helping humans to keep in contact with each other. And it's so important that we keep this contact going, yeah? And I'll hopefully try and explain a little bit how we can work in a spiritual sense as well, because we're going back to that power of thought thing again. And I'm pretty sure... Hiya Chris, you alright? Hiya Sonia, nice to hear from you. And thanks for joining us. And we've got to really take on board the fact that we're not helpless. That's one thing that's really got me, is what can we do? How can we help people? Hiya Becky, hope you're well. Running that Wellbeing Centre, you know, it's taken up 5 years of our life, and we've got to admit that we've loved every minute of it, and to have to shut the doors was a real blow for us, because we feel everybody that comes to that place is family, and hopefully we treat them as such. Although sometimes family, you know, they always say you can choose your friends but you can't choose your family, which is very true. But but we love our family, we love our extended family, and we want to extend what we do out as far and as wide as we possibly can. And it doesn't take a great deal of effort to do it, you know. It's like the power of thought. Thinking is consciousness. We are conscious beings. Hi Linda, Fairbank. Hope you're alright. Keep going, Linda. Everything will be fine. We are pure energy, pure consciousness. Strip away these physical bodies, strip away these buildings, strip away all the trappings of humanity, and what are you left with? This amazing, beautiful planet. And this amazing, beautiful planet is not only there for us all to enjoy, not only there to sustain us, which she does in abundance, but she is there to help us, and to help us to raise our vibration. Because we are, without any shadow of a doubt, now going through a mass awakening time. Humanity will awaken at an incredible rate through this period. Whatever happens, whatever sanctions are put upon us as human beings, we've seen our freedoms eroded, and we have done since that big day back in 2001. I'm talking about 9/11. It's really when the world changed. It became a different place. And you know what? We're still here. We've survived. We've survived many things. Humanity. We're very resilient. And it's the human spirit that keeps us going. It's the spirit part of us. That little voice inside that says to us, you got to keep going. You've got to keep going. Because we'll get through this. And we will get through it. There's no two ways about it. And it's a dichotomy. And I use that word a lot recently. Because on the one hand, we could look at a world that is totally bleak and frightening. And on the other hand, we can look at a world which is so exciting and new and fresh, and a blank canvas to start writing and painting on that canvas and really create a new world for ourselves. But we've got to let go of the fear. We've got to let go of that fear. If we keep the fear, we cannot allow the love to come through. There is only one thing that will stop the love from coming through, and that is fear. And right at this moment in time, we are in that state of fear all across the world. So we've got to find ways to dissipate that fear, to move it to one side, to allow it to be released from us. We have to accept it and accept the situation for what it is. And know that when we're feeling those feelings of fear, that's okay, that's fine, that's a natural response, that's human. We are human. But we need to learn to control those feelings and turn them round. Turn them round into something very, very positive. Hi Deborah, hope you're well. Sandy, nice to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. So we've really got to plan how we're going to get through this. How can we get through it? Day by day, step by step. Let's not race ahead. You know? Let's take it a day at a time. A step at a time even. And let's slow down, because that's the other beautiful thing that is happening to humanity at the moment is we've all been brought to an absolute slowdown. And people are now putting pictures on Facebook and Instagram of the nature, the animals that are kind of coming out of the hiding places. Now that humanity's gone into their hiding places, the animals are coming out. One lovely friend yesterday posted a picture of a bird table with a woodpecker on it. How many times do we actually see woodpeckers on bird tables? Not many. Not around here anyway. And it's that nature. That nature's coming to us to remind us what's important? What's important in life? How many people are thinking those things now? How many people are actually thinking, you know, your big cars, your fancy houses, your loads of land, your big job, your big salary? What is that actually worth right now? What is that worth? We've got to ask ourselves that question. Keep thinking about these things. Let the thoughts come in. Let the thoughts flood into our minds. Because I'm going to tell you something now and say that those thoughts may not be our own. We might be just being fed those thoughts from external sources or higher dimensions. So keep thinking, keep the thoughts flowing, keep that creativeness, that thought pattern coming out. Because we've got to reassess where we are in the world. How do we go forward? When I was a kid, my kind of vision for the world was get rid of money. Get it out there. I think I wrote a poem once, I said, chuck it in the sea, which wasn't a very good thing for the environment. But I was a kid, and I thought, you know, a world without money would be a perfect world. And just right now, I've been going back to those thoughts and thinking, you know what? If we could actually do without money, if we could live without money, find a way to live without it, well, our friends, the governments of this world, we wouldn't need them anymore. And we could just turn our backs and walk away. Just all these thoughts cramming my mind on a daily basis. Some are weird, some are wacky, some are wonderful. But then again, we've got to keep thinking. The power of thought. And hi Sam Rhodes, hi Karen, and hi Margaret. Nice to see you tuning in. Thank you, ladies. I'm not even sure we've got any gents on at the moment. Where's the blokes? Come on, blokes. Don't let the side down. Just think. Take the time. Slow down. Relax. Relax the mind. We've got into some kind of pattern of going to bed quite late, getting up quite late, and kind of eating when we want to eat, when we feel hungry. You know, we're not kind of putting a meal time on like we normally would do. Hey up son, Simon Edwards. Nice to see you tuning in. Thanks mate. We're just slowing down and it's wonderful. And our bodies are loving us for it, you know, just to really slow down and relax and chill out. And if we can just move the fear out of the way, perhaps we can begin to enjoy this time as well. Really enjoy it. Because there's two things that we need in life at the moment: joy and love. And I'm going to chuck a bit of kindness in there as well. We need kindness and a bit of gratitude too. Let's chuck all that into the mix. Because all these things, and one really important thing, how could I forget? Sense of humour. Yeah? We've got to keep laughing. We've got to keep laughing. Us Brits are good at that, you know, and apologies to anybody that's not a Brit. I love you all, whatever you may be. But these islands are amazing. And I'm not getting all kind of patriotic when I say this. I'm stating a fact of something that I've learned over many years, is that the energy in these islands are quite incredible. How is it that such a small group of islands can be so creative in many, many ways? We are all those creative people. There's some energy in this place, in these places that we live, that we can really tap into. That beautiful, wonderful earth energy. Hi Dave Scarf, I think mate you're the first, along with Simon, 2 guys now, yeah? So Simon, Dave Scarf, thank you for joining the team. Nice one. the earth is powering us up. It's powering us like a massive dynamo, like a massive electric motor, charging us up, getting us ready for what's to come. And what's to come is amazing. But we've got a choice. We can make it amazing, or we can turn our backs on amazing and make it as miserable as we possibly want. Personally, I'm going for the amazing. You know, I've got to look for that. Just going back to this thought process thing. So lots of thoughts, lots of emotions, because with those thoughts come the emotions too. The feelings. And this thing here, the heart, is amazing. Brain's great, keeps everything working, keeps everything moving, but the heart knits everything together. It's the cement that makes it all hold together. And if you are a spiritual person, you might have come across what we call the heart space. And the heart space is within this heart. There's talk now coming out about the heart being the first brain. This is actually the first brain, not this. This is the first brain. And in our Western society, we're taught to use this. Okay? Not this. This is an inconvenience sometimes. Uncomfortable emotions and feelings. And again, we're going through that time now. But this makes it all rational. This makes it all make sense and whatever. We can put kind of some meaning to things. But what this tells us is quite amazing. This tells us the truth. Sadly, this thing can lie to us. But the truth's here. And we don't always want to hear that in here. You can see that all over the world. So many people who literally, the truth's being put right in the front of their faces and they will still not accept it. And that's going to happen. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the plan. We all think differently. We all react differently. We behave differently. It's all part of the missions that each one of us have chosen to come here and play our part right at this moment in time in the world. Whether you believe that or not, I'll leave that up to you. That's my truth. It may not be anybody else's. But thankfully, science is now proving how powerful thought is. And I always maintain that going back to the days of Einstein, where he discovered his theory of relativity and E equals mc squared, and the speed of light. And there was one guy that disagreed with Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein said the speed of light was the fastest thing ever of all time. But a man called Niels Bohr disagreed with him in many ways. And now, right now, Niels Bohr is being proven to be right. Anybody who works with spirit knows that spirit is infinitesimal. It's everywhere. We are all connected. And the power of thought, the transference of thought, is instantaneous. And for many years, spirit guides have been saying that there is no time, no space. There is no distance between any of us. It is an illusion of the physical world. That all this empty space around us, which really isn't empty, is not space at all. It's an illusion. And people have laughed and scoffed and said, yeah, you're talking rubbish, mate, you're talking rubbish. But it's only in recent years, through quantum entanglement, quantum physics, that science is now starting to prove exactly what Spirit have been telling us for years. And that is that there is no time and no space. Everything exists in the moment, right here, right now. And we have just been given this time frame in our physical world of what's called linear time. And thought can be transferred anywhere to any given point in the whole of this universe, just like that. They proved that on a recent documentary on the BBC, splitting particles into two halves and using photons, light beams, bouncing those light beams off distant stars and monitoring the behaviour of the two particles. And when the light beam was turned on, those two particles reacted instantaneously, simultaneously and instantaneously, as if they were still joined together. But yet the light had been sent into space, and I feel, I may be wrong on this, but billions of light years bounced off something billions of light years away. I don't know how they do that scientifically. Hi Ruth, nice to know you're tuning in. Hope you're all well over there at Grangemore. And this is science now. We're not talking flim-flam, we're not talking nonsense. We're actually proving that there is more to the human, more to the universe than we ever possibly knew. And we aren't even scratching the surface now. We're just getting there. We're starting on our first tentative steps. And in order for us to advance, we have to up our game. We have to raise our vibration to go into the new world, into the exciting world, into the amazing world. And to do that, we have to realise that we are consciousness. And to build everything around that consciousness. Not the old days of exploitation and take and greed. We've seen right now that doesn't work. Everybody has seen that happening. In an instant, in the blink of an eye. That's the old world. The new world is consciousness, realisation of our own self-consciousness, our place in the universe, in the grand scheme of things. So, what can we do right at this moment in time to help each other and to help the world? We literally don't even have to get off our backsides. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people who have to get off their backsides. There are so many wonderful, good people doing so much good work in this world right at this moment in time, looking after the elderly. Hiya John, hope you're well. Looking after the elderly, looking after our loved ones as best we can through these times. We've got to do that. We're human, our families. Keep spreading the love. But we can actually help to heal the world through meditation. It doesn't take much. It's just simply thought. When we create a thought, we create something real, something tangible. Everything that we think is creation. We are creating on a linear time basis the reality around us. And it's already mapped out, but it's just coming into our conscious realisation. So, what can we do? We can send these thoughts out to the world, to everybody in the world. Hiya David Carr, nice to hear from you mate. Hi Margaret, hope everything's well in Austria, in Österreich. Wie geht's? And We are so powerful. Human beings are amazing. And we are wonderful beings of light. We're all part of the fabric of this whole thing. But we're also external from this whole thing at the same time. That would take a long time to explain. But we can step out of this reality anytime we wish. Just through thought alone. To step out of these physical bodies and step into our spirit body, our energy body, our light body. Just through the power of meditation. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to do a little meditation. I've got some sound tools. That's all I'm going to use. And I'm going to hopefully work with my guide, who's come back after 6 years to help me once again. And a guide who's given me a lot of inspiration over the years, a lot of amazing information way back that's now relevant for today, and again I've posted some of that on Facebook already. But we all have guides. Anybody who's out there, hi Viv Lane, nice to see that you're tuning in, Viv. We've all got guides, we've all got these wonderful helpers all around us, and whether you believe in God or angels or whatever, again, that's up to you. Whatever belief system you have, or if you don't have a belief system, it doesn't matter. Just be you, be who you are, be your true self, your authentic real self, the spirit within. Be that person. But allow that to come out, allow that to shine, because now every single human across this world has got to shine their light. And we've got to discard the fear and allow that light to come through. Because with that light we can change this world into something absolutely beautiful and amazing. So folks, I'm going to do a little meditation now. What I would recommend is that you find a comfortable place if you're not already in one, and just get yourselves comfortable and relaxed. Please feel relaxed. I'll take you through some breathing exercises just to help us to achieve that. Hiya Celia, hope you're keeping well. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to keep relaxed. We're going to try and dissipate that fear, those anxieties. And please don't feel as though you're doing anything wrong. If you're still thinking about things, mulling things over, and I might be telling you something else, please go along with what you're thinking. Just take those thoughts on board. Whatever comes into your mind, take them on board. Just allow them to be and allow them to come in and leave. Please don't feel stressed within this meditation by thinking that you should be doing something else. There is no right or wrong way to meditate. It is all very personal and individual. And it can be a beautiful experience, but if we fight it or try to be something that we shouldn't be, or have an image of what it might be and we're not really kind of living up to that image, it can cause us a little bit of anxiety. Just allow things to be. Okay folks, so if you're already sitting comfortably, I'm just going to take some of my sound here. And what I would like you to do first is to just focus on the breath. One of the most amazing things we can do to stop anxiety or stress or fear in its tracks is to focus on the breath. the very thing that keeps us alive. And I'm going to ask you now to close your eyes and just focus on the breath. Just feel yourself breathing in and breathing out naturally. Don't over exaggerate anything, just be normal, be relaxed. And now we're going to just begin by taking in. Hi Margaret, we're just starting the meditation, so if you find a chair, just relax, close your eyes, and we're just going to go through some breathing exercises. So take in about 4 or 5 really good deep breaths. Don't feel the need to overexert those breaths. Just try and get air into the parts of the lungs that we don't normally breathe into, because we do tend to breathe quite shallow in our daily lives. So keep breathing, breathing in, breathing out, allowing the lungs to expand, allowing the diaphragm to rise up and down, nice and easy, nice and gentle. Now on the in-breath, imagine that there is a beautiful golden light that you are breathing into the lungs. And on the out-breath, imagine sending that light out into the universe. So breathing a cycle of light on the in-breath, sending that light back out into the universe. Just imagine that cycle, that circle of light coming into the lungs, coming back out of the lungs, through the nose or the mouth, whichever way you breathe or feel comfortable breathing. And now what I'd like you to do is take all those wonderful breaths, that golden light, and imagine that this golden light is a healing light. And that light, you can send that to any part of your body, your being, whether that be physical or in your spirit body, emotional body, and send that light to all those areas that need the healing. And on the out breath, allow any negativity, any stress, any anxiety, any unwanted or unneeded emotions to be released on the out breath. And continue to repeat this cycle, beginning to feel more and more relaxed, feeling perhaps a little bit heavier in your chair, shoulders perhaps becoming rounder, sending that healing light to those areas. Could be the head, could be the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the joints, the abdomen, the stomach. Wherever that healing light is needed, allow yourself to be healed by this. Just take a little bit of time just to become accustomed to this, to feel that healing power running through the body, running through every single cell in your body, every single cell, and imagining that you are focusing now on one cell, and you are sending healing light into that cell, And through the power of thought intention, we are now going to transmit to that cell healing. We are going to protect it from fear, from negativity, from the effects of these negative emotions, and we are going to allow the light into the cell every time we breathe in, and every time we breathe out, all that negativity, anxiety and stress will be released from that cell. And imagine now the strands of DNA within those cells, or that particular cell, and imagine that if it's broken or it needs fixing, that light is beginning to repair our DNA, the DNA within that cell, allowing that thought intention to flood in, to heal and repair, to protect. And now we are going to ask that cell, that one cell out of all those millions in our bodies, perhaps even billions, to begin to communicate with all the other cells in our bodies, to teach all the other cells exactly what you've just taught this cell, sending the light, the thought intention to heal, the repair of the DNA, to heal the cell completely, to protect it from the vibrations of fear, of anxiety and negativity, sending those signals out by thought intention instantaneously across every cell in your body. And allowing the sound, the vibration, to be the catalyst for that. Allowing that resonance to heal, every single cell in your body. Allowing your DNA to repair itself, to protect itself against infection, disease, illness, anxiety, fear, to put a shield around each cell, allowing in only the light and the healing, and sending via thought intention instantaneously, without time or space, that every single cell in our bodies is healed. And now we will imagine that we as one person are now connecting with every single human being on the face of this planet by instant thought transference. We are now becoming as one entity, one being, one soul, one spirit. And imagining that we, as that healed being, are transferring our healing to every single human being on the face of this planet. By instant thought transference, we have healed everyone, and everyone has healed everyone else. We are transferring that intention to everyone, and it is important now to put out the intention that we can heal at any given time by thought transference alone, a single thought, to focus on the breath and focus on that one cell, to heal the cell, to heal all, to heal everyone and everything. And we send our love and healing power to the planet that we live on, to assist our wonderful home to begin to also heal us, to send out those wonderful earth energies to each and every human being on the face of this planet, and to send out that healing to Mother Nature, every animal, every plant, the oceans, the ocean life, everything that has life, the earth itself, the crystalline structure of the earth, and transmitting that light out to the whole of the universe and the cosmos, that we become one beacon of pure healing power and light in the whole of the cosmos, and everything that has life is sending and receiving that healing too. And we ask for our guides and inspirers, for the archangels, the ascended masters, the cosmic guides, for permission to come forward, to step forward now to help humanity, for each and every one of us to ask for permission for those beings to come to bring their love, and for us to become aware of them as time goes forward, and for them to work through each and every one of us, that they will speak through each and every one of us, and through those words we will be healed, and through those words we will begin to build a new earth, a new life, that we will awaken to the higher consciousness through our very being, through our soul, through our spirit. We will all awaken to our higher consciousness, and we will begin to fulfill our true life path, the missions that we've all chosen to do, to come here to do, to join humanity together, to live as one, and to find that wonderful place that we all wish in our hearts that the earth would be, a place without fear, a place without war, a place without hate or greed, a place without avarice, and fill it with kindness, with love, with gratitude and healing for everyone, for every single living being, to spread our light, our natural spirit light, in the blinking of an eye, that we are achieving this. And you now are able to go into the world and to spread that light, to spread that love, to help those who are in fear, to show them a different way of how we can be and how we can live. And just now be in that space, as I stop talking now for a moment, and just focus on the vibration on the sound and focusing on that one cell, transmitting that soul power to that cell, the healing power, and knowing that that power is going to every part of creation. And as the sound begins to fade, just know that you can do this anytime, just by simple thought alone. Imagine within your mind and in your heart that that thought transference is instant. There is no delay, there is no time, no space, no distance to cover, but instant transference of healing, thought, love, compassion and kindness to all humanity, the earth and everything that lives within it. And now, folks, slowly and gently, just begin to return your consciousness back into the room where you are. It may be that you need a stretch or a little wiggle of fingers and toes, just to bring your consciousness back. And as you're coming around, I'll just like to say thank you very much indeed for joining me on this meditation. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it helpful, interesting. I hope you might have learnt something new. But whatever you take from this little talk and meditation, just know that we as human beings are far more than what this physical world makes us out to be. We are part of the divine source of all love. And next time I will do more meditation work for everyone. I'll take you on different journeys to experience different things. So whatever you do from here on in, folks, have a great day. Try and cut yourself off from that news feed if you can. Concentrate on the joy, on the love. Anything that causes fear within us, try and distance ourselves from that and know that together we can rise above all this and that we can be what we are meant to be. A society of people coming together to help each other, to help the planet, and to finally be what we are meant to be. Thank you, folks. Have a lovely day, and lots of love and hugs and virtual hugs, and looking forward to the day we can all get together again and we can all do this in person. But as we've said, thought transference, doesn't matter where we are in the world, we are there right now. Cheers, folks. Take care. Have a lovely day. Look forward to a new life, and we'll catch up with you soon. Cheers. Bye.